Hello. I was just checking if I spelled Optavia correctly, and I had so the top of my pie is very crispy and nice, but also because uh Frida's in heat, everybody's treating her like she's the belle of the ball. How are we? Thank you, Sarah's Corner. That's exciting. Um, yeah, I was busy earlier today, and then I got the Optavia things, so here I am. Hi. Oh, that's nice. Um, hello, Lily, and fancy meeting you here. I'm Tish, and this is Echo Echo. Yeah, I had a great day because I found out I was approved for a house. Woo! Got approved for the house, and now what I need to do is find the money for the house. Yeah, so that's where we are with that. I'm optimistic and I'll be moving very soon, but um over the weekend. And I said to the lady, "Oh, it's Easter weekend. Is that okay?" And she said, "Yeah, it doesn't worry me. I'll just leave like a lockbox with the keys there." Yeah, so we're gonna watch some of this Optavia video. Uh hmm, hang on, I'm trying not to crunch into the microphone. Mm, what did I want to show you? Um, maybe a picture? Mm, mm. Okay, so Optavia had sorry, Wilbur's unhappy because he's in the crate. Oh no. Did I have something to show? Oh, I didn't. I thought I saved something that was from hang on, maybe I did. Let me check. No, I didn't save anything. Okay, whatever. Good work, Tish. Optavia. Optavia is a diet MLM. So, trigger warning for conversations about anything to do with weight loss. I've got a reel from Gina Eccles, which is no mini. Sorry, I get it. Hump on the get it. Don't no, you can't do that. Okay. And look, Frida's not keen on anyone at the moment. Frida's like, get away from me. Leave her alone, please. Murphy, leave her alone. Leave her alone. She's not keen, mate. Anyway, so anything to do with weight loss, that sort of thing. Yeah, so Gina Eccles had this reel. Gina Eccles is one of the top leaders at Optavia, but when she talks, oh, she always says the worst stuff, but she doesn't talk much, you see. She definitely she's got a what's it called? Social media calendar that she sticks to. Monday, like Monday family, Tuesday before and after, Thursday recipe, Friday a joke. Like she's got it sorted out, and that's all she posts. But she posted a reel today that was very disordered. It was bad. So I'm going to do a top fails at some point in time and have a look at that. So they usually have their conference in the summer. Usually they're usually in August. They're usually later in the season because that's when conferences are generally in the summer. And so they had an event called Awaken. Not like Awakened, the MLM. Oh, today when I was watching Erin's live, it was the replay. Somebody in the comments was talking about Soul People being closed. I went to the Soul People website and they are just selling the products. It doesn't look like you can join, there's no affiliates. And then, but they are selling the Wild Rose beauty stuff that was Whitney Rose's brand. And they were selling Zenith and the products, the Awaken products and the headset. Uh, oh God, that sounds terrible. Ugh. Um, and but then I also went to Whitney Rose's beauty. Like she has a separate website for Wild Rose Beauty. And what was supposed to happen was that the Wild Rose Beauty was going to change everything over to Soul People and they were just going to exclusively sell over there. And it's like, what happened to that plan? Because she still has a website that has Wild Rose Beauty products. So, interesting. And she's releasing new products and things like that. So I just wonder what it was with Soul People, what they did, you know? Like, it seems like it was all just get rich quick for the CEO and the top leaders. Because we know that's Megan got paid, Kristen Wyatt got paid. Yeah. So sorry, that was a little side quest there, but so Awaken 2025, they have this picture of a lion. It's like roaring and I think it's to pump them up and keep them in because that's what it was. It was a picture of their is it still where did I save that? It was a picture of their momentum from um oh, maybe it was on my computer, on my iPad. Okay. On the business from home, let me have a look. Business from so business from home is a pro MLM site. All the information that they use uh, is from the companies. So it's basically some of it may not be like reliable. So, oh, actually, I should look to see if Soul People's still on here. Mm, I want to, oh, why won't it do this? I'm looking at the wrong, I need to be in the other window. Sozzles, everybody. Let's see if it'll let me go now. Screen one. Yeah, I'll just go to screen one. Okay. So you can see, swap over Tish. I'll zoom in a little bit. This is their revenue. So you can see they were never $1 billion company, like in the 1 year, I mean. But you can see how they've been going. That, I mean, that's the COVID bubble right there. And you can see, I mean, 200 mil. So they've dropped 400 million in oof, in a year. Wow. There's like one fly swimming, flying around. Go away, fly. Shoo, fly, don't bother me. Anyway, so you can see the momentum rank. It's not good. So this, let me. Sorry, just gonna get myself situated. That they included speeches from Dr. A, who is he's the founder. He is a doctor, but he was not a doctor that did anything to do with dieting. He was an anesthesiologist. And in his anesthesiology time, he noticed that weight loss was becoming a problem or people needed weight loss. And then he decided to scam people into weight loss into this company, which has a diet where people come off it and they get diagnosed with malnutrition. That's how the diet is. Uh, they eat this processed food called fuelings, and yeah, the diet is around about 800 to 1,000 calories per day, which is what a toddler eats. It breaks metabolism. People end up, if they are even, a few calories over, it just puts on weight automatically, which means people diet. They yo-yo diet, and um, basically this company is full of people who are on and off the 5 and 1, which is their main diet. Then they get to maintenance, which they do the 4 and 2. So 5 and 1 means 5 fuelings, which is their ultra processed thing, and 1 lean and green meal. The fuelings are usually 100 calories each, and the lean and green is 300 calories. So that's what makes up your day. And then maintenance is 2 and 4, 4 and 2. And then they get to what they call is ultra health. And I think that's still the same diet, but they call it, yeah, 1,000 calories, and that's generous. It's usually, I think it's 800 to 1,000 calories. um, so, and there's an even more extreme version of it where they only have the what's it called, like the protein shakes, and they don't have any other substance, like no whatever carbs are in that, but they don't have extra carbs, blah blah blah. It's also recommended not to exercise when you're doing a 5 and 1, but do they exercise? Absolutely they do, and that makes their weight loss even more. So is it an effective diet? Yep, because losing weight is about caloric difference and having that um, caloric imbalance towards, like, you know, don't eat as much as energy as you're giving out. It's calories in, calories out. It's that sort of thing. But you don't keep it off. It's not a healthy way of eating. It's very restrictive, and it causes people to have disordered food relationship. Um, what are you doing? Are you okay? What's happening, dude? Are you okay? Okay. It's jumping around like he saw something. Um, yeah, they definitely do the thing where they place moral value on food and like, oh, this is good food, this is bad food, and food is just fuel. Like food is not good or bad; it is just food. Um, yeah, so that's Optavia. Uh, oh, absolutely. It is definitely there's some eating disorder type behavior. Um, Doug Wood is one of the major guys. They're very conservative. Also, the other thing, so we've got the eating disorder part of it and the dieting, which is really extreme. But this company also is this is the other trigger warning for religious manipulation. And on the thumbnail, there's like a picture of them on the bottom left hand corner where they're all worshipping. They're all they mix religion and the MLM and the dieting all together, and it is so insidious. They connect success to all those things, and it's so destructive. It's very difficult to get out of this place, and there's a lady, Alison, she has a podcast called The Unlikely Pastor's Wife, I think is the name of it. And she was in Optavia for many years. She was friends with Doug and Tia and all the top leaders that we've got in all these pictures. And she left Optavia eventually and was just cast out like she was nobody. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Um yeah, it's completely on purpose because you can't leave this MLM, like theoretically, because you'll be disappointing God. That's what they're putting up there with it. And I know Julie Joe talks about this sometimes, which is what made her sort of leave Arbonne and question everything, is that connection to religion. And if you know anything about Julie Joe's story, oh, that was very dry. Why did I take it? Why did I eat then? I need to drink. Okay. Um, Julie Joe has a master's in religious studies, I think. And trigger warning, and talk about unaliving here oneself. She was suicidal when she left Arbonne, or maybe while she was still in, and it was that intertwining it um with that success, among other things, but definitely, like feeling like you're letting God down with your MLM. And the dieting, they connect to the MLM success as well, where they say, oh, like if a business on fire is like when you're losing weight, or you can only, like you're not successful if you're not losing weight, and connecting those sorts of ideas. So it's really bad. Hello, Alizara. That's a lovely name. Okay, I'm gonna start watching so I can eat my dinner. Yeah, it's awful. And Doug, they I'm honestly surprised that they have a school also, which I would like to do some more interest. Well, Doug and Tia would have a school. It's called Valor Global. I'd like to do a little bit of research on that, about how they get paid, like, and whether they get school vouchers and things like that, because there's some politics involved there. And they're all pretty much like MAGA pilled, basically. Even the women, even the women. All right, let me add this video and we'll get started so that I can actually eat some food. Here's my dinner.
All right. Good morning.
Okay, so let me swap over. This is Megan and Dan Valentine. Okay. And how I got this is it was very it was very easy to find. It was on Vimeo, and yeah, I've even got their little workbook that they gave out. But it was connected to their like I just clicked on a link in Facebook. Um, so Dan and Megan Valentine, they are above Doug and Tia, so they're top leader. And when we had a look at the business from home um thing, they are listed as one of the top leaders, and they Megan and Dan Valentine are mm, they're listed in their top earners. So when on the Business for Home, sorry, website, they've got like a list of top leaders, and um Megan and Dan Valentine are in number 12. So that's pretty high up. But as I said, they're just self-reporting, because when Jessie Lee passed away, before she got sick, she was like, I don't know, 187 or something like that, you know? And then she got sick, and all of a sudden she was number one. She used to say she was number one, but we knew that she wasn't, because she was like 87 or whatever. And then all of a sudden she got pushed to the top because it was good for business to have her up there, if you know what I mean. Uh, all right. So this is them. Dan he's quite aggressive, and uh he he's pretty interesting. He gets pretty aggressive in his stories and that sort of stuff. So, yeah. All right. I may make this a little bit quicker, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. All right. And let me know about the sound as well.
Everybody,
Good morning.
welcome to Awaken 2025. On a scale of 10 to 10, how are you doing? Hold your hands up.
Oh God. Do we know what this is a business conference. It's like they're at a concert or something. And they're probably in a church too. All right. I'm gonna let it play and then eat some of my dinner.
Look at all those 10s. I love it.
Awesome. All right, who's ready for a little bit of life change here this weekend? Yes?
Woo! Do you hear wind blowing somewhere? It's just me. The winds of change are blowing. I don't know. There's something in my head right now. So, well, welcome everybody. I'm Dan. This is Megan. And before we get this thing going, I just have to say this. We've had an incredible team that has helped put this together.
Let me know how the sound is, because it sounds a bit dodged to me, but if you guys can hear it, it's just not that loud for me. I don't know if mine or if my let me know levels if you can.
And this lady right here has worked her butt off for the last 2 months at least on this thing. So make sure y'all thank her.
All good. Thank you.
And so,
thank you.
listen, sometimes, we'll be nice and give the other person credit, but for real, I haven't done much. It's mostly her putting it all together. She would agree with that.
I won't disagree completely, but like you said, there was an amazing team, and we're super grateful. And how many of you were leaders with us yesterday? Had an incredible start to the, yes. Okay, wow, I love it. Did you come with your expectations high and your intentions set? I hope so.
I think that might just be how loud they are. Mm, let me see. See if this is better.
Okay, because it is going to be
It's not better for me. I think that's as loud as I can go, I'm afraid. But it's low, but can you hear it? And should I just turn myself down and then you can crank it? Okay. Oh, no, no worries. All right. That's good. Okay, cool. Let me change it back because I. Yeah. Oh, really? A man didn't help out? Okay, I'm buying it. I actually believe him.
An amazing weekend, and we do have some goals for this weekend that we want to share with you.
Yeah, so I think our biggest goal is that everybody would leave here like the conference theme is somewhere right there. I almost tripped. Did you see that? Okay. That everybody would leave here just, I was going to say a little bit more bold, but like massively more bold, okay? How many of you know a coach that maybe has the business or is getting the results that you would love to have? You know, we celebrate them, they're up here, and you're like, I want that. All right, raise your hand I want you to think of that actual person. Maybe you've seen them give a testimony, you've seen them being celebrated, you've seen their post up on the pages. Okay, raise your hand once you think of somebody. Now, I want to ask you this. How bold is that person? Right? That's one of the things that every successful coach, and honestly, people successful in just about any endeavor is they have a boldness. And I want to clarify this. We talked about this a little bit yesterday with the leaders. Is boldness doesn't mean a certain type of personality. It doesn't mean a certain, being loud and obnoxious like some of us. It's a confidence. It's a belief. It's a you know what you have to offer. You know that there are people in pain, and you have a solution, and there's a boldness that drives you. So, if we could just
What? You know people are in pain and you've got a solution. Who? You? You? Is that what it is when people need to lose weight? Or when they would like to lose weight? That's one thing John Milton said on the not the video that Erin covered, the video that JJ covered um the day before they closed, where it was what would you do if you had to start over? And he said everybody wants to lose weight. No, they don't. No, they don't. Like, that is such an ignorant thing to say. Like, how many people are trying to bulk, or how many people are sick and they can't put on weight? Like, he's so insensitive, but that's who he is. Actually, I was watching that bit where he was crying today, and I felt sorry for him. I'm sorry, I did. I did, and I put it in Aaron's comments, and I'm like, this is how I know I'm not like completely bitter about life and about people, and like trusting people, in that I still felt that empathy for him, and I still do feel empathy for people when they're going through tough times. And I think that was genuine, although it didn't last long, because then we got the pitch, you know what I mean? Like, he definitely, I think he didn't expect to get the emotion in that moment, but then when he did get, like, then he realized, "Oh, I can use this." So it was momentary, but that's who he is, and that's who these people are too. I'm gonna use that emotion to sell you something, right? Yeah, exactly. Not everybody wants to lose weight. So, yeah, it was really gross. Um, and that's what these people say, because what they say is they say, "Oh, I'm offering you health. How could I be evil? How could I be doing something wrong? All I want you to do is be healthy." Well, no, you're not offering that. And anybody who has been in Optavia and gotten out will tell you that. They will tell you that they had problems with body dysmorphia. Um, Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Uh, that's how I feel to Lily. Like he's so smarmy and arrogant. And he was talking about how he had encountered all these narcissists. And I'm like, hello, ring, ring, ring. Hello, is it the pot? I used to do this all the time. I don't know why I don't do it anymore, but because I haven't heard hypocrites like, but ring, ring, ring. Hello, is this the pot? Yeah, this is the kettle. I'm ringing to call you black. Yeah, there's a pot calling the kettle black. Like seriously, yeah. What a coincidence. There's so many narcissists that you run into. It's almost as if it's a pattern. And there's so many people in MLMs who say things like, I was meant for more. I wasn't meant for a 9 to 5 job. I was meant for so much more. And it's like, what? Kelsey Ray, I'm thinking of Kelsey Ray because she's somebody who says that. Actually, I got a Kelsey Ray live. I bet you she's talking about Modere and Kristen Wyatt, who I have covered. If people know Kristen Wyatt, I've covered her quite a lot. She went from Q Sciences to MRR to Soul People to Bellamy. She's so scammy, in my opinion, and she's not directly uh pitching people from Modere, but she definitely is trying to get people from Modere. And I got another Melissa Collins. She put in this uh started a comment in the Yes MLMs group saying, "Oh, what's everybody going to do with the tariffs for China?" And it just set off this like crazy conversation. I'm like, Melissa Collins in the wild is always wild. Okay, we'll get back to this, but you are not offering anyone, Dan Ballantyne, any relief to their pain.
Somehow tap into that next level or the next 10 levels of boldness coming out of here. It's going to overflow to your teams. It's going to overflow to your communities. You're going to see it on social media. How many of you can see boldness on social media? And sometimes we try to, we're like, oh, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to. There's a big difference between being pushy and spammy and being bold about something that you believe in, right? So boldness is the biggest thing.
Yeah. And one of the other things that we want you to walk out of here with is a leveled up belief, right? Belief in this company, belief in this vehicle, and most importantly, because this is the area that I think some of us struggle in, is belief in ourselves, right? Go ahead.
I was just going to add, and a belief in the future. How many of you believe there's I love talking to Nick. Nick Johnson's here from Optavia. We have another special guest with us, but I love talking to him because
Dr. A, I
he
bet.
knows the numbers. He knows the insides. And whenever we have a conversation about what's in the future, there is zero doubt about where Optavia is going. There is zero doubt about what is in the I mean, he has graphs and all the things, and I'm like, I don't understand all that, but okay.
Oh, when was this from? Let me just double check. Had the had they had the news from Modere? Let me double check. Oh my god, the first thing that I just went to Facebook. I'm not on Facebook really. I have one account which is for MLM stuff. And the first thing it's here is a story about Marina Simone and Bryn Lang, who were in Modere, um, breaking sales records at their new company. I'm like, yeah, sure. I imagine that it's one of those places where you submit your own articles. So, yeah. Um, so what was I looking for? Let me go to Doug. Have I got a Doug? Oh, and Ray Higdon is starting. Yeah. Um, my friend who was sort of shy started selling for a makeup emblem years ago and was convinced by getting the free car, it helped her with her confidence, but she never got a free car. Maybe because it wasn't free. Absolutely. I'm guessing that was Mary Kay. What's the other word? Mary Kay. 6th of April. When did... No, this was before the Modare thing. Wow. It was before the Modare thing, I think. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And they were going to talk about... So the guy who they're going to talk, that he said he was going to um Nick, somebody who's going to talk about the financials. Isn't that interesting? Because I bet people are wondering about that because we already looked at their momentum on the Business for Home website. And, well, I mean, even though Modere was closing like a couple of days later, we know that we've seen Body go down, um, Red and Fields, Lime Life, etc., etc. And so I'm thinking, like we want to make sure you are here for the future. It's all about indoctrinating you. Absolutely. And I think their special guest is Dr. A. He's the founder, and I'm like, okay, it's actually not that special.
I'm telling you, there will be there's some amazing things happening right now. Anybody have a good March? Yeah, okay, some of you, all right. Some of you just getting on the train. That's all right. We're going to be sharing some stories this weekend of some people that had some pretty good marches. Um, there is going to be an amazing future in Optavia, and you get to choose whether you want to be a part of it or not. Okay, so that's part of what this weekend's going to be about, but a belief and an optimism in the future. Not just Optavia as a whole, but your part that you play in this
Yes.
Optavia mission.
Yes. And that's exactly it. Because how many of you're like, I don't think I could believe in this, program or transformation more, right? You're like this. I mean, how many people your lives have been changed because of Optavia, right? Okay, the others of you, we're gonna hope that
Whose life has not been changed by Optavia?
you might be like a spouse that was dragged here, or you're just waking up. I don't know. But all right, let's get excited. Let's
That was weird. Um, I don't think my life's been completely like if I didn't cover Optavia, my life would still be the same, I suppose. Oh, that's great. She's confident she gained an MLM to go into teaching and get involved in union work, a bit like the creators. They left the MLM to do anti-MLM. Anyway, point was, I hope people wake up and leave their MLMs and come out stronger. Absolutely. My two favorite anti-MLM creators, I think everybody knows because I I cite them so much. Aaron and JJ. I love watching them. And the Clown Town, obviously. But like we're besties, so but like and it's not that I don't like other ones who haven't been in it or anything like that. I just really like I appreciate their perspective. So, and to come out and be fighting them, amazing. Like just amazing. Um yeah, I think MLMs definitely I can see how they give people they can give them transferable skills, and it's just that usually not in sales. Like that's where Wendy MLM no. Oh, sorry. I just accidentally just kicked Minnie in the head. Sorry, Minnie. You're a bit close down there, sweetheart. Um, and Wendy is in sales, and she says her sales tactics suck. However, it's those other things like maybe you I'm not real good talking in front of crowds. I can act, I can perform in a role, like, and be really silly. Like, um, my JoJo Siwa Halloween costume was very revealing, and I danced around. It was very silly. Like, I would not do that as me, though. So I think, like, there are some advantages that come out, and if you come out the other side and you're able to do it, then to do something with it, then that it wasn't a waste of time. Um, and I see these people like, why does Kelsey Ray have to be in one? She could easily be an influencer. Easily. She doesn't have to have an MLM. You know what I mean? Like, she's doing influencing work. Um, yeah, like there's so many people like that, and it's just a crutch because they don't want to do anything else. It's so easy for them. Oh, I don't know. They find, I think, probably easy is not the right word. You know? Yeah, absolutely. The worrying thing, um, when you come out of a health MLM, with the type of trauma or disordered thoughts that you need to work with. Yeah. Um, so much of what people go through when they're being recruited could be solved with therapy, but unfortunately, the country where MLMs are so big doesn't have a good support system around getting therapy, and it's too expensive. Yeah, that's true, Lily. I know. Alzara, I couldn't believe she said she got 40K. And I mean, her engagement's not very good for how many people who's following her, but absolutely. Yeah. And she probably is in too deep. Uh I think also with Kelsey Ray and Courtney, they've also got some trauma connected with the Jessie Lee factor. And maybe that's part of it because once you leave Prove It, that's the last tie with Jessie Lee. And as much as I don't like what both those women do with their lives, I think that's a genuine tie. Kelsey Ray should not, though, because Jessie Lee was really mean to her. You know what I mean? Like, really mean to her. Yep. Yeah, exactly. She's not going to keep those people when she starts pitching Prove It too much. And when she says, because she does at least 3 to 4 times, maybe even more, share this out, you can get like this. Share this out. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I can understand and sympathize with that decision. It's like, holy shit, this is the last thing that I've got that connects to Jessie Lee. Other than the dogs, although Courtney, I hope you still got 2 dogs, but I suspect that you don't, and that's fucked. Should have just given them to Jessie Lee's ex. All right, let's keep going. And also, Dan and Allison, Dan and Megan Valentine. Yeah, absolutely, Lily. Um, they had a good March apparently, but I just don't believe that.
Level up the energy, okay? Because our belief is in, obviously, the program. We've been changed. How many of you have been changed through coaching, right? Coaching has changed your life. Maybe it's solidified your health journey. It created a family of accountability and of people that support you and believe in you. Maybe you've found your purpose. Maybe you've worked a job and then you discovered what it is to walk in purpose, right? And so we have belief in some of those things, and now we want to see you truly walk in belief that you can do this, that those dreams that are deep within your heart, that those can become reality, but it starts here.
Yeah, and I want to give honor to some people. Kevin and Becca Tinter have helped lead this thing. Doug and Tia Wood, a bunch of leaders. I shouldn't start naming leaders, but I wanted to say this. I was going to say, this is not just our team that's here. There's some of you from other teams, and that's awesome. I applaud you for showing up, being in the room. I love doing stuff together. But that wouldn't be a true statement saying some of you are not part of our team because we're all part of the same team,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we're going to go into that weekend on the same page, together, unified, excited about the future, leveling up our confidence, our boldness, our excitement. So I do have to do one thing though before we start. I'm gonna use my old school assembly thing. Okay.
I know what you're
Some
gonna
of you know this. I used to travel around and speak in like middle school and high school assemblies. Some of you were with me. You're here. Where's Summer at? Oh, she's not in here. Anyway, but I used to do this thing with the schools to make sure everybody was awake. Because if it's a morning assembly, how many of you know? And I was not awake till noon every day in school, for the most part. So here's what we're gonna do. All right, I've got this awesome wake up technique to make sure everybody's ready to go. Your blood's flowing, and some of you already got your dancing in. You're ready to go.
They're not children, Dan. Did you consider that? They're not children. God, was he a teacher? Some sort of practice? Imagine saying I walk in purpose with a multicolored line behind me. Mm-hmm. Okay. They did not practice with the mics. It's important to practice with mics. It's also important to hold a mic in a certain spot. And I'm looking at the pictures of them closer up. You've got to hold it like uh I think that's a good guess, Alizara. Bless Auntie Lushy, whom told me a month ago that I was holding my mic around the wrong way, and it took me a month to check it, and now I am holding my mic around the right way. However, this mic is different to that mic that he's got. um, a mic that you are speaking into a crowd, it has to be a certain way. You have to never tap it, please. Don't tap it. Yes, clip-ons would be better because you're not moving it around. Um, a mic like this that I've got definitely cuts out the background sound, thankfully. Who's in? Can you see somebody underneath the covers there? Who's underneath the covers? I think it's Murphy. He's stuck. Yeah, no, as somebody who has put on shows, uh, I do have criticisms with what they do. However, some of you will know that kazoos are really important in DC's community, and that actually comes from Optavia, who had a conference very similar to this. What was that one called? I can't remember what it was called. It's so long. It was maybe 3 years ago now. And, but it was hosted by Doug and Tia and Kevin and Becca Tinter, who he just mentioned. And so that is their team. Are they in the picture? No, they're not in that picture. Kevin is transphobic. He's terrible. He's one of the worst humans in the world. He's really transphobic. I mention it every time because I think that he doesn't get enough shit for it. And Kevin at that conference, and they haven't had a mid. Yeah, yeah. Damn it. I did mute. Ah, damn it, damn it, damn it. I don't know where I got up to in the story. Okay. Well, Kevin, I'll just wait for a second while you tell me which part of the story you got up to. Hello. Hello, Elaine. I know, I'm crazy. I I think I must have just accidentally touched it with my chin or something. Hello, William. I love everybody's just coming out to tell me I'm muted. I'm sorry. Okay. So Kevin told like everybody had, I don't know where I got up into the story, but they'd wrapped up the session. They were about to take a break and I don't. I know. Am I still muted? Oh, I was at the beginning of it. Okay. Um woohoo. At the beginning. So, it was similar to this, but it was about 3 years ago, and Doug and Tia and Kevin and Becca were the organizers, and, Kevin's transphobic. I like to tell everybody that because he doesn't get enough shit about it. I know. Oh my god, how long was I going on? God damn it. Um, and anyway, they'd wrapped up, like, this session, and everybody was feeling all warm and fuzzy, and everybody's happy, and yay, yay, yay. And then Kevin just gets the mic and he's like, also, whoever has the kazoo needs to stop or there's going to be a problem. Okay. And he just walks off smiling after. He was so angry that you could see how angry he was. And then like, I could see all the people he was with and he was like, and they were like, yeah, good work, Kev. It was so funny. Like I died. I died. Um, and that was the story where Becca Tinter was talking about how she had I know he kept he was and after he said it, everybody was kind of like confused, like soft clapping, like, yeah, okay. So Becca, this was when Alison, who I was talking about before, who'd left Optavia, was in their circle. Alison had left and she was speaking out, and Becca was talking about how she had a plant and she had to prune away the dead leaves, and she was talking about Alison, which was really gross. But she also told a story about her son, how her son got expelled from school. And I'm like, okay, so that's can you imagine angry dad friggin' Kev Tinter doesn't even like a kazoo, and his son gets expelled from school? Mm, yeah, so they're an interesting couple. Kev Kevin was a police officer. That says it. That says almost everything I need to say. But he talks about his fat percentage. That's and he works out when he like flexes, he looks kind of weird. He's buff, but it looks weird. All right, let's keep going.
But we're gonna make sure everybody is awake. So here's the trick that we're gonna do. Okay, I want everybody to make a fist like this, and everybody has to do it. I will call out people who are not doing it. I'm watching you. Now I want you to do this. And I want you to look at your fist. Some of you are like hitting yourself in the face. That's actually not it. Okay, that's not the technique. All right, now here, everybody got it. Everybody got it. Eric, switch to your other arm. You'll know why in a minute. Okay. Now what I want you to do is I want you to elbow the person next to you and make sure they're awake. Wake them up. Wake them up. Wake them up as hard as you need to. Get that blood flowing.
I'm sorry, what?
All right, that's it. That's all I got.
That's good. All right. Well, speaking of excitement for the future.
Oh, the legs. Does he skip leg day? I can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen him. I'll have to check. But this man, His technique of getting kids to pay attention is to get them to elbow the person beside them? What the fuck? Sorry, no, that's never happening. That would never, ever, 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 ever happen. Like, they'd like start a fight. That's so dumb. Coming from a country where the police is usually really safe and friendly, my parents actually taught me at an appropriate age that the police and military are not always safe in all countries. Yeah, unfortunately. Um, I think probably Australia is okay. I wouldn't worry about calling the police. I'd be hesitant because there's still definitely we have a problem with black deaths in custody in Australia that has not been resolved despite there being a royal commission into it. And so I'd be hesitant to call the police and yeah, imagine doing that with kids. Um but American police are there was a police officer who I think he got into a car accident the other day. I don't know if the person was okay or not. But he was watching a Matt Walsh video about trans people and it was transphobic. And a lot of police officers in America support what Trump's doing and they've been militarized, you know? And that's bipartisan, both sides of it, you know what I mean? Um, they have supported the militarization of police, and since the war on terror, like where, police units get ex-army things. They get, machine guns and tanks and things. And it's like, why do police officers need that? You know what I mean? Yeah. The the right I think it was Ben Shapiro is trying to get Derek Chauvin um a pardon on his federal charges. Thankfully, he won't be released from jail because he is a murderer. He killed George Floyd. And yeah, uh, because the state is, yeah, paramilitary, that's it. The state has already, he can't be pardoned by the state. And but he has federal charges as well, and Ben Shapiro is trying to get him off. So it's just terrible, the misuse. And people who maybe were wanted to be police officers but didn't pass in some way, guess what they have become in America? ICE agents. Isn't that great? Ooh. Oh, absolutely. Oh, the other thing too, one of my nephew. Yeah, I've only got one. No, I've got two nephews. Sorry. Um, one of my nephews is a police officer. He's kind of like the black sheep of the family. Poor fella. It's because we are ACAB all the way. So it's like, oh, mate, really? You became a police officer? He wanted to join the fight. He wanted to be a fiery. He wanted to be a what do you call him? Firefighter. And he was always good at school. He's good at sport and stuff like that. But when he went to go and join the firefighters, they said, "Oh, come back in a few years' time, get a bit more life experience." Became a police officer. Bloody so annoying. So annoying. I don't know how long he'll be there. Hopefully he becomes a firefighter eventually, because that's pretty controversial in my family, to say the least. All right, let's get back on this.
Future. Why don't we introduce our next guest?
Let's do it. All right, so do want to say this. We invited Nick. We invited Dr. A, and initially, Dr. A is like, "Oh, in ski hella school, training, hella skiing, I don't know, traveling around the world doing something big or whatever. And he's like, shoot, the dates don't work. We're like, totally cool. Maybe you can just do a video. You can, just show up, on the screen. And we get a text from him saying, I changed my flights. I moved my schedule around to be here with us for 24 hours.
He literally, what's crazy, he goes, well, I really only have my ski outfits. So he had to go buy clothes to.
And he looks sharp, let me tell you. The dude looks like
But that's how
awesome.
bad he wanted to be here with you. He was like, I have to be there. I got to be in the room with them.
Yeah, there was a Walmart right down the road. He went there, found some awesome clothes that you're going to see.
Nothing against Walmart.
Actually, he was telling us a story. When he was in the store, somebody came in asking for some cashmere pants. Okay, you can imagine what kind of store this is. You ever see any? This is in Vail, Colorado. And the pants, guess how much those pants cost? Dr. A didn't get these, but just take a wild guess how much the pants cost. 3,000, 1,100, anybody else? This is like Price is Right. $5,000.
Okay, no, the best part of the story is, you know who asked for the pants? Like a 9-year-old. And the dad bought them. He said, that kid is ruined.
So if you see a 9-year-old walking around in cashmere pants, give him a little kick in the butt. Show him what real life is all about, all right? But anyway, I said that to say this. Listen, our most precious commodity that we cannot create more of, that we have a limited amount of, we actually don't know how much we have, is time. And it means the world that Dr. A, who doesn't have to be here, believes in this mission so much, believes in all of you so much, that he said this last night. We said, hey, you didn't have to come. Thank you for doing it. He said, I did have to be here.
Yeah.
This is where the mission is. All right. So without any further ado, he doesn't need an introduction. He started this whole thing, took a massive risk. And this is part of what we're going to be talking about this weekend. Took a massive risk to get out of what was comfortable, to take a chance on doing something huge that he believed in. And he got uncomfortable. He got bold. And we're all here. And 3 million plus people have been impacted by Optavia because of one man's vision.
Yeah.
So give it up as loud as you can. Get on your feet for Dr. A, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh. Just a small town girl living in a rolling world. Of course he has to come. Dan and Megan Valentine. But obviously somebody was supposed to flick that up on the screen first, but they didn't. So when they introduced Dr. A, they just went blip blip to the to the next one. So they're like, oh shit, I didn't press the right. Ooh, skipping. He's wearing cream pants and a cream shirt. Also, when he said, "Oh, who do you think bought it?" and I was like, probably Doug Wood. Doug Wood would pay $5,000 for a pair of pants or his little shoes. He loves like those Dockers. No, not Dockers. Like boating shoes. I can't remember what they're called. So Dr. A, that's what this guy's nickname is. That's what they call him. Like I said, oh, did he take it? Yeah. Oops, we forgot about the PowerPoint. He took a chance. He took a bold move to exploit people. And of course he has to be here. This is his cash cow. This is his ego because these people, you saw them, they're standing now, standing ovation. Oh, I love him. He's, got God status in this company. So of course he wants to be here to try and keep him in a bit longer. Just got to keep him in a bit longer. Keep him in.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
I'm just gonna mute it for a minute so it doesn't ping me
Okay.
for copyright. They're waving at him. That's weird. Okay, there we go.
Optavia this morning. How could I miss this? I mean, the leaders that come from this town
I'll tell you how they are. Probably they have a sore shoulder because their neighbor just elbowed them.
are incredible. What they've done through the last few years during our adjusting our sales has been amazing. I want to be here because this is the foundation and the start of something incredible. We're going through iterations, but the world is getting more toxic. Wouldn't you agree? Now, I'm going to show you some slides today that really reinforce, and by the end of my talk, hopefully
God,
you'll never ask the question again, are we going to be okay? First of all,
it's very soft. I apologize, guys. That's so soft. I'm gonna see if I can turn it up a little. He's a small time girl. I tell you what he is though. Like you said, fashion icon. Cream, 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 cream. Cream shirt, cream pants, cream boots.
our company, our partners, have created financial stability. They've been ahead of the curve. They put us in the greatest position. What I want to say to you today is that our future is bright, but only if leaders like the Valentines and the Woods and the top leaders that come into this
Uh, you lost $400 million last year. Is it steady and stable? Because it's not exactly a winning. Do you think it's going upwards? Because that's not the trend, my friend. It's going down. I wonder. I'm gonna have a look, see if I can work out where their food is made. Okay, I'll go down a bit. Me, as in me talking. Okay, keep going.
organization need to drive our future. But what I'm going to do is what I did 20 plus years ago. I'm going to talk about positioning you so that you have not only no doubt, but you are going to embrace the evolution of health in the country and the world. Yesterday, I was listening to Nick talk about us becoming the largest health coaching network in the world. My goal from the first day was get America and then the world healthy. We're now in position as you sit there, and I can tell you that I left it all, critical care, beautiful home, lived on credit cards for 2 years to build something that's now become why you're here today. That's boldness. And I'll tell you what's even more bold is I'm going to one of the hardest areas in the world in British Columbia this week to do something that 10 years ago I would have said, what? You're going to jump out of a helicopter? No way. I was an intermediate resort skier. But I made the decision that I wanted to do that. And what have I done? Deliberate practice with a coach, with going and doing it over and over. We have spent 20 plus years getting alignment now where our company and our mission and our coaches are in a line. But the attitude in here has to be that I'm taking no prisoners. I'm bold, I'm awakened, and I'm going to help change the planet. Because there's things going on, there's rumblings, there's all these pieces where the tumblers are starting to move in terms of toxicity in the wrong direction, in terms of health for us in the right direction. And flipping that least, what am I talking about? That last tumbler can make all the difference. So basically, let's see. Okay.
I'm gonna predict that he talks about Maha and RFK. Because, yeah, that was when John Melton talked about knowing Mel Gibson's doctor? Was it doctor and RFK? I went, what? Oh, good. So it's probably going to be like an absolute scam, you know? Lots of lots of good stuff does come from the US. I love liquid IV. I can't not have it. Boycotting everything except that. I don't know if you can hear Wilbur barking, but I'm going to tell him to be quiet. I think I'm going to have to get Wilbur fixed up because he is just, when the girls are in heat, he loses his mind. He loses his ever-loving mind. Yeah, so I reckon Dr. A is going to talk about that. So rapid acceleration of change and disruption. What is it? That doesn't even make a sense as a concept. The future starts now. How do we position ourselves to become the major player of what? Our story, our solution. What does this little thing say up there? Sorry. Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson, co-founder of Optavia, New York Times bestselling author, integrated presidential director, independent Optavia coach. He's a coach? I didn't realize he was a coach. Oh my God, he's the co-founder and he's a distributor? Well, I wouldn't mind the humping. The humping's not the problem. He just he gets real sooky, you know. Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, come on now. Clowntown? They're my favorite people in the whole world. Yeah. Actually, when I was picking Murphy up, um, he started humping my arm, and I'm like, "Oh no, I'm about to have a humper," because none of them hump. Well, Minnie humps everybody, she, all the other dogs, because Minnie's dominant, and Minnie's like, "I'm the boss. I, here I am. I'm gonna hump you," and so that's her, you know, um, being dominant, being the boss of the pack. Oh, that's it. He could be, but I'm shocked. I did not realize that because integrated presidential director is one of their ranks. So, of course, he had to be here. He's the upline. This is what uh they would trot out Tony Van Choi. She's the top. She's got a vested interest in keeping people there because it keeps her bills paid. So of course he's going to be here, even though they're treating him like he's above them. You know what I mean? Like he's no different to them. He's just a distributor trying to get paid.
So I can't see these at all, but I will stand over to the side. Our future starts now. Bottom line, there's rapid acceleration of change and disruption. We need to position ourselves to be the major player. I'm going to talk a little bit about our story and basically about our solution. So, VUCA. VUCA means volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguity. And the reality is that's where the world is. Companies use that term and they developed it, but it's actually as individuals living in this world, we're there. I mean, just
Uh, Look at all of them taking a picture of this. Really? This is what rapid acceleration of change and disruption.
the
Okay.
last couple of days, look
Let
what's
him
gone
cook.
on in the world, the financial world, right? Things are changing. Administrations have changed. Everything's volatile right now. And it's uncertain. Is it good? Is it bad? Complexity, trying to be healthy. We've got the weight loss drugs now, but are they really doing what we want them to do? And are they really going to help create long-term change in an individuals? And ambiguity.
He didn't want the jab to start with. And notice that they're okay with this, with the weight loss jab, not okay with the COVID jab. Eh, tomato, tomato. you know? But also, he talked openly before they signed up, before they signed on to be providers for Wegovy. He said, "We don't need no, like, needles to get fit and whatever," and then they took it on. They were all talking about it, like, "We're not gonna ever do that," and then they sneakily did it.
What's working, what's not, I'm not sure. The world is sitting here in a confused state. Individuals are confused, and they don't really have great solutions. What we have is basically the result of poor health. 74% of Americans are overweight or obese. Metabolic syndrome, basically insulin resistance.
Is that based on the BMI? Because the BMI is full of shit and racist. So, it's not good, it's not a good measure of health, alright? So if you're 74% people are unhealthy, that's not the same even as being overweight or obese. Those 2 terms aren't the same. So you might wanna check your fucking PowerPoint for starters, alright? But, yeah, BMI, if that's your measurement, then you like, all of this is based on just bullshit, basically. Uh, because we also know that a whole bunch of people who are thin may not be healthy, and a bunch of people who would be considered obese through the BMI are healthy. Oh, look, it's my it's my Twitch. It's my Twitch bot that I always get at some point in time. Yeah, exactly. Food deserts, because fast food is cheaper than healthy food, and many people in poverty live in food deserts. Absolutely, and that's only going to get worse because they want to deport all the people who work on farms, and they want to put tariffs on all the other countries that provide food that they can't grow. Did we think that through, guys? Did we think it through? No, but that doesn't matter because for MAGA, the cruelty and them being deprived is good enough to own the libs. They would rather see themselves go without than see anyone else get uplifted. That's why they don't want, like, they don't want food stamps or anything like that because they think that that's like, the welfare queens and stuff like that. No, I want to deprive those immigrants or those black people or whatever, and it's worth it for me to be deprived because they don't get it, because I don't want them to get it. And that is their cruelty and their hatred that's a part of that. And it's disgusting, and these people are a part of it too because they support that agenda. Absolutely they do. Um, one of the top leaders here, Summer and Mike, I think they're just under Doug and Tia Wood, who are the top leaders along with Megan and Dan Ballantyne. And Summers, I am Echo Echo on Twitch, yes. Um Summers' husband Mike was diagnosed with prostate cancer maybe over a year ago. It seems like he was going natural treatment, which we already saw Jesse Lee pass away with that. But it seems like he's getting actual treatment now, and that's great. But even he's getting actual cancer treatment, and then um saying, "Oh, Doge is doing such a good job." They took money away from cancer treatments, mate. Like, these people are emblematic, and they are that example of that sickness of MAGA, you know, where they just don't trust. They think that, oh, we're not a part of the mainstream. We're in, like, we're against the establishment, when Fox News is the biggest It's the biggest entertainment network. It's the biggest news network. It is the mainstream media that they say you can't trust, you know? It's just example of some of the shit that they say, and we're only 15 minutes in, Tish. Good work. I'm sorry. I'm a chatty bitch.
93% of Americans have it. Why? Because we eat processed food. We don't exercise. We're stressed out.
Ah, fueling's a processed food. Your food that you sell people to eat is processed. And also, there are food deserts, and people cannot get any other food.
All the parameters that raise your insulin are there in front of us. The world, 50% of the world is now insulin resistant. Metabolic health is at its all-time low, and the reality is we have an elegant solution that can change all that. Are you guys starting to get excited about what I'm talking about? In the weight loss revolution, is it real, or is it just another disappointment waiting to happen? That's ambiguity at its finest. Bottom
Um,
line is,
they spelt disappointment wrong. I only just noticed it. Someone proofread these for him? Good job, everybody. Good job. But please do destroy the Department of Education. Yeah? Let's do that, hey? Fucking hell. These guys, these people.
it's important that we be bold. I left critical care, went and did this, lived on the credit cards. I'm now getting ready to jump out of a helicopter. I am bold. And I wasn't bold just then, I'm bold now. And bottom line is we have the opportunity to seize this moment. When there's dysfunction, when there's adversity, people rise up, and that's when opportunity is at its finest. It's there for us right now. Become a professional. We are so far ahead of the curve. We've been doing this for 2 decades. We are in position to literally become the yin and the yang of the weight loss revolution. And we're going to talk about that. And then we need to be value-added coaches. We need to be professionals. We are not a direct sales company. We are not distributors. We are not selling products. We are helping people change their stars, their lives, their families, their marriages.
I'm sorry, they're helping you change their stars. What? No, that's what you are. I was, Lily, I was going to use the word monochromatic, and I didn't know if anyone would get it, and you did. You beat me. At the very least, I would wish them a speedy recovery and equally speedy bankruptcy. Yes. Yeah, same as it ever was, only different. And also, no, you are that. You are a direct sales company, multi-level marketing company. You are distributors and coaches. But you want them to think it's more, because then it's harder to quit, right? You're changing lives. No, you're not. Well, sometimes not for the better. And I think some of these people are kind of like going, yeah, yeah, like testify, you know? It's definitely going to resemble religion.
That's what we do. And we do it better than anybody. And the heart of this team is the heart of what can create human interaction and connection once again. We don't have that anymore. And it's getting further away because of AI and all the technological advances. Does that make sense? So, 2 decades, we're going to explore a little bit about our heritage and our solid foundation. We can affect the future health of the world, and we model right now some of the healthiest countries in the world. So one of the things we're going to talk about, Nick had this idea. Let's go. He lived in Denmark. He said, "Listen, your family's from Denmark. Let's go over there and do a documentary. You guys see it? Yeah, it's really good. I mean, the team did a great job. I'm going to show you to use that mirroring that underlying structure that Copenhagen and Denmark in general and Japan does it the best, actually. So maybe we should go there, Nick."
Dr. A, do you want to know why Denmark? Oh, we're talking about Denmark, the people who are trying to stop your country from getting a hold of Greenland, And also there are native people to Greenland who don't want to be American. Those people from Denmark, the Danish. Also, do you know that a lot of the success of their country is because it has socialism? Don't tell him, don't tell him. Don't tell him that they have free education, that their teachers have doctorates, that they have healthcare provided, that they have parent leave. Like, they are so well supported that there's housing for houseless people. They have a really high minimum wage. Those things. Is that what you're talking about? That's why Denmark's great. That's the difference. But do you think that they are going to make that connection? I bet you they're not. I bet you they're fucking not. I know, isn't it funny? Like, okay, thanks for coming to show us a PowerPoint and a video. Great.
You know? Basically, so I'm going to kind of just show you in a couple minutes what that documentary is about. But I want to show you this. Can we go back one? Will that go back one? Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, I was going to show you on the left side there, there's a plate. We went to the team that did our documentary, took us out to dinner to Geranium, which is, you can kind of see the bottom of that slide on the left there. Innovative food, I mean, just everything. Then I went to the museum with Savannah, my daughter, and her husband. And in the museum, the design museum, they're so innovative in everything they do. And this,
Mhm.
you can see that I was looking, this is actually, I superimposed that so you can read it. But actually on the mirror is that saying. So when you're looking and reading that, you're actually looking at your reflection of yourself, right? But listen to what that says. The future doesn't exist. The only thing that exists now is our memory of what happened in the past. But because we invented the idea of the future, we are the only animal that realize we can affect the future by what we do today. We change the world.
Yeah, that's interesting. Would you like to talk about climate change? Or does it not exist? Because that is something that we can think about. Um, that stuff that we can do today that affects our future. I'm just everything that they are saying is connected to concepts they claim to not like. Hey, calm down, please. If looks could kill right now, Will was like, no one's even doing anything, mate. It's almost like he's Kevin Tinter. He's like, stop with the kazoo. He thinks everybody's having fun without him. Yeah, I love that. The only person who goes around saying that they countries belong to them is the person that these people love, Donald Trump.
Today. I wanted to be here because the people that are in this room are getting it done. They're basically leading the mission, and we need to know that we need a lot more help, right? In 2008, 9, and 10, when I wrote the Habits of Health system, we doubled our revenue each year for 3 years. Becca's here because she saw the book. And bottom line is, it's time.
Ooh, Aaron has the book, I'm sure. I've got Doug's book, which is From Church Boy to Millionaire. Uh, but it's interesting that he said that the years that they grew. What did they grow off of the back of? The 2008 global financial crisis? That thing. That's disgusting. And he'll probably say, we grew during COVID at some point in time. All of them do. The companies that are old enough, you can see when they grow, and they grow when other people are suffering because they offer what looks like an opportunity and it's not for most people. It's just, it's unseemly that they profit off other people's pain. And that's why MLMs are just the ultimate late stage capitalism, like byproduct.
Time for a new disruption. We need to marry up and couple up with the GLP market because that's how people are getting in, and it's growing every day. Florida made it to the Final Four, and so I don't usually watch TV, but I have been watching. There's no longer Weight Watcher commercials. Every commercial are GLP-1 drugs. So they're here. They're not going away, and they're going to get a lot better. But what they
They're going to get a lot cheaper here. I get a little bit, I get a little bit back from my private healthcare on my GLP-1, $60, which is pretty good. They cost my GLP-1 for what I get, like I get the bigger size and it lasts 2 months. So 2 months and it's around about $400. So that's 200 American. And then I get $60 back. So $30 back American. That's pretty good. That's what it is all the time for most people. If if you're on the pension or if you are single parent um benefit or a student or like if you get some sort of benefit, um you can get most medication for how much does because my dad's on the pension. I think it's like $6. I think all of the medication that you get $6 except for certain things because it's covered. So that's the thing. That's how yeah, I know. That's how cheap medication can be. Like my uh antidepressants, $20 a month, you know? And that's where these people always talk about, oh, like the pharmaceutical companies and blah, 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 blah. It's like, do you know, on the first day, Donald Trump signed an executive order canceling a pharmaceutical uh, discount that was supposed to happen in 2026. And like Biden had negotiated like new prices for diabetes and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, Alizara, that's how it was here too for a while, but now that they've got Wegovy instead of Ozempic and stuff like that. Yeah, see, that's it. I would go to Mexico too or Canada because it's so expensive. And if you've got like my antidepressants, I couldn't do without them. And RFK, fucking idiot, is talking about, oh, those people on antidepressants can go to a camp and get some sun and some fun. And it's like, no, dickhead, that's major depressive disorder is not like that. Oh my god, $1,000. That's crazy. Oh wow, that is nuts. Yeah. No wonder only rich people can take it. Jesus. Yeah, these people are hypocrites.
do, they do one thing. They take your appetite away. That's it. They don't help you lose weight. They take your appetite away. And without direction, people make all the bonehead mistakes, right? And we don't know what's going to happen to them long term. So it's really important to understand. So anyway, I'm going to take you through and just show you really quick. So we designed this to basically, my family's from Denmark, and that's why when I was in that museum, I felt this kindred spirit. I don't know if it's it's genetics or what it is. But they're bold people. I mean, look at the Vikings. They literally took these little boats and traveled all over. They innovated a sun compass so they could actually navigate. I mean, they went out and explored. They did some badass things too. And I got a little bit of that in me. But anyway, the point is, we went over there and we built basically the thing of moving into Denmark as an underlying structure in the heart of how they change their architecture, their bike paths, and then basically talking about the future. We come back to America, and you can see, like, this is scenes. There's Mike and Nick and Lisa, and basically we went into the markets, local markets, where what they've done is they've made healthy food cheap. What we do in America, we make processed food cheap, and healthy food, you got to go to Whole Food store, right?
Yeah, and whose fault is that, mate? Whose fault is that? Oh, that's already been happening. Trust me, that's already been happening. I'm actually here we go. I'm actually um a trained yoga teacher. Yeah. However, when I did my yoga teacher training, I did learn all the Sanskrit names, but I didn't use them. I said it's not my culture. I'm not going to use the Sanskrit names. Not my culture. And I definitely tried to um decolonize, but then you don't want to like use it without referencing where it's come from, like it's complicated. And but I definitely never felt comfortable using Sanskrit language. It's not my language. It's not my thing. Um, so, but I haven't taught in a while. Um, I wouldn't mind getting taught. Like, I think like all of my training sticks, but then to get certified, like you've got to do some practice and stuff like that. So that's what I am excited to do because where I'm moving to, it's Brisbane, which is the capital of Queensland. So it's a big city. And so they've got lots of interesting stuff. Yeah, see, that's it. Um, yeah, yeah. And the person who I used to watch, she was like a plus size yoga person, and she would say peace at the end. She wouldn't say namaste. Um, and then also, oh, what's her name now? Jessamine Stanley. She's another plus size. So because I've always been, a bit chunky, the plus size yoga people are people that I've watched and enjoyed. Underbelly, that was the name of her company, Jessamine Stanley. But what Dr. A is talking about here, yeah, guess what? Guess who has power in America? The fast food places, they have lobbyists. Like all of the things that are happening in your country is because of the people that you support. You support these people. You support the people who, like they say they want to take out the preservatives and things like that, but then they can't because those people gave Donald Trump money and you can't, the fast food people, they ain't going anywhere. They're not changing it. They're still going to use seed oils, because it's whatever's the cheapest. If it's more expensive to use beef tallow, they ain't using it. And you're just going to eat your McDonald's burger. If it changes the taste, oh, Donald Trump will not be going for it if it changes the taste. He loves McDonald's. And they want to say, like, all this, like, fresh food. Again, where from? Who's going to pick it? You're getting rid of all the immigrants and you put tax on Mexico, and so if you want fresh fruit from them or fresh vegetables or fresh whatever, you can't get it. You also import Australian beef, you know. Um oh, okay. Let me see if NH. Yep, yep, yep. Right. Yeah, I think that, like, I have always really liked hot yoga, um, but not Bikram because for some reason, whenever I did Bikram, I always felt like with my yoga practice when I've been in it, um, I don't like being like you adjust yourself to be comfortable, you know? Um, and and I felt that so many poses in Bikram yoga were so uncomfortable. And knowing what we know now about Bikram yoga, I feel like some of it was a bit of a kink for the guy as well, like putting yourself in uncomfortable positions that were kind of revealing as well, you know? Anyway, um, so I'm excited because it's a bigger town and there'll be options for what's it called? Yoga. I don't support that orange clown either. Yeah.
And spend your arm and a leg. Second, bottom line is the restaurants. We went into this little restaurant. Everything was made. There's fermented foods. Your gut biome, my gut biome was never been healthier than I was there eating this food. It's just incredible. We don't do any of that here, right? You might be able to go into a store and get a little thing of kimchi, but our diet is horrific. And then we
Yeah.
got to, we talked about the metaphor, but I got an opportunity to go out and sail with some real sailors in Copenhagen, and they're just wonderful people. They really embrace and love life and nature. Then they would put some makeup on me. And then this is a Viking, this guy, he's 80 years old, and bottom line, he's huge. Look how big he is. And then I got to meet the top sleep specialist, and Mike tried to talk me, and we went in the sauna to talk about sleep. And then they wanted me to go cold plunge in 40 degrees in the water there. Yeah, no. Good for you, not for me.
Yeah, thankfully. He's got actually cold plunge doesn't do anything. I know. You don't say. There's longevity in eating well and exercising. Who would have thought it? Also, you're part of the problem with the eating stuff. Like, come on. Feelings are processed. You won't believe it. Fresh produce, totally amazing. Really good for you.
They can say, well, I get asked all the time, well, is it good for you? Well, I know that sauna also has an equivalent effect with hyperthermia, creating a little bit of energy expenditure. I'll take the sauna all day, right?
Me
Yeah.
too. I'm with him on that one.
So there's Nick and I in the lake, walking along the lake. Copenhagen, Nick, what a great place. I mean, I know you loved it there. It was just fascinating. The heart of the people was incredible. And then my daughter came in. By the way, my relative is Hans Christian Andersen, so many generations. I have a book that was handed down. And then Savannah came, and we got to spend some time hanging out together, see the Littlest Mermaid. And then here's the point.
Littlest.
Copenhagen is proof of concept. We have the blueprint to help America become healthy. We need a lot more of us to go out and make that a reality, right? There's a million physicians. How many coaches we have right now, Nick, that are active? 6,000. We have 26,000 coaches. There are
26,000 coaches. That's interesting. I can't remember the last time I've heard that. I might drop it in a chat who might know. I got a chat with some of my fellow creators and they might know the last time we heard numbers for that. And it was a little bit funny, like, okay. Yeah, you said, and he called it the littlest mermaid. Do you mean the little mermaid? I'm surprised. That's the first time I'm hearing that he was related to Hans Christian Andersen. Like that, I would lead with that. That's really impressive. I'm impressed by that. Also, I thought Vikings were more like Swedish. Were there Vikings in Denmark as well? Am I dumb at that? And I know because like my surname, um, I've always said is like Viking, and it's definitely around that area. Oh, sauna. Okay, so sauna's maybe not good for a lot of people in the US because of high blood pressure from eating bad food and not being able to afford medication. Yeah, that's a good point. Our model is the blueprint. Oh my God, whose model isn't the blueprint? I know. We've got the blueprint. That's what that's what Kelsey Ray and Courtney Shortney were talking about the other day. We've got the blueprint. Elizara, you won't even believe this place, Copenhagen. Amazing. Okay, so 26,000 reps. I'll see if I can find out if we the last time that we have. Oh, okay. When I got my DNA like analyzed because I was like, what? I would like to know if I have any indigenous blood because we never knew who my grandfather was because my nana, bless her, who's uh no longer with us, she had a good time in the 50s and 60s. Okay, she had a real good time. And and so we never knew who my granddad was. We'd heard it was this guy who lived in a commune called Daddy Elf. And but then my mum had someone else's surname who wasn't her dad. Anyway, so we didn't know who the granddad was. So I got a DNA thing just to see what it was, and it was like Scottish, Swedish, English. It was so boring. And there was the only like bit of excitement was a little bit of Portuguese. There you go, little bit of Portuguese. That's as spicy as it gets, I'm afraid. Uh, I feel like, of course, monochromatic wannabe Kingo here would say they're related to a Viking. Yeah, true. But I think it's more impressive the Hans Christian Andersen thing. That's great.
A million physicians in this country treating disease. We need a million coaches in this country treating health. That's up to you. We can't do it. They can get up here and they give their heart to this business. These guys here, Tinters, give their heart to this business. Tia, they work endlessly to help this become a reality. But it's not about convincing you to do it. It's time for you to stand up. In fact, Hamilton talked about that, right? Stand up and join what we're doing because we can change the world together. So, our
I'm sorry, did he just quote Hamilton? Another thing that's like very liberal? Do these people know? How are they MAGA? Like, how do they believe all these things and then support Donald Trump? I do not understand it. Like, what the fuck? How can anyone in a health MLM support Donald Trump? He's fat by any means. Like, he's obese, definitely by the BMI. He doesn't live a very like he eats processed food, doesn't smoke or drink or do drugs. Well, except for ones that I imagine that he gets prescribed. I remember I used to work with this racist dude and he was trying to show me his results, got mad at me for saying yeah, exactly. Caucasian, Caucasian, Caucasian. There's just Caucasian, my friend, with a little bit of Portuguese. That's me. Oh my God, not reverse racism. Look, I because of being a teacher, I do talk about reverse racism not being a thing, and it's just sometimes I just have to give in though. 'Cause I'm just like, look, it doesn't exist. Racism, you mean prejudice, okay? That's a yes, you can be prejudiced to other people, but you can't be racist. It's based on power, all right? Yeah, exactly. I'm sure. Maybe. All right. Stay with me here. maybe there was a like a what's it called? A Christmas Carol type situation where Dr. Wayne was like visited by the ghost of Hans Christian Andersen. He's like, "Don't mention my name." I don't know. Yeah, good on you, Tish. I know. If you want to watch a very good video by the Clown Town, I'm just going to turn my air conditioner off. It's cold. Um, they have a really good video which is about the crunchy. I think it's called the lavender. Let me have. I'll get the. I'll get the link to show you. But it's about the alt-right crunchy pipeline, and it's very good because they're very good. Um, I think he is Scrooge. Um, Clowntown, where are you? There it is, called Pastel QAnon From Crunchy to Conspiracy. It's a really good video. And it does talk about how they, yeah, like uh, the how that pipeline happens. And yeah, it's really good. It's a good video. Of course. So that's in the I just put a link there. They've got you should everybody should do a back catalogue. If you haven't watched a lot of Clowntown, go and have a look at their back catalogue. Very good. Um highly recommend. Their Alpha Males one was good too. The Sister Cindy one is really good. I'm just like reviewing all of their friggin' videos now. But yes, the crunchy alt-right, that the whole thing is very insidious, and it's just amazing that Dr. Wayne is talking about all these things which are that make sense, that would be good ideas, that, are the opposite of what's happening right now that they seem to support.
Solution to bring health to America and the rest of the world. Been saying it for 20 plus years. This is the best opportunity we've ever had to make that a reality. GLP-1 drugs changing the game, but they're not the answer. They're part of the answer, but they're not the answer. They are literally the antidote to processed food. They make it so you're not hungry, you're not craving that addictive food, but only for a short period of time. And so I'm going to take you through right now why we need to be part of the weight revolution, weight loss revolution. You guys ready? First, they are the most effective way to lose weight. Gastric bypass surgery is still around 28% weight loss, so it's close. But the new generation, the first generation was about 10%. Second generation, the tirzepatide is about 20%. The new ones, the triple G that's coming out from Lilly very shortly, is about 25 to 26%, so it becomes equivalent. And I can tell you, it's a lot better to take a shot to lose weight to get you started and get you into motion than it is to have your whole gut rearranged, right? In fact, the good news is one of the evidence of this is that gastric bypass surgery is on its way down. So that's good for the last couple of years.
That's actually good advice. I think a lot of people still, are a little bit hesitant to have needles and things like that, and at least he's being honest with that. Oh, Top Chat. I think I was in Top Chat on it was when I just dropped into Julie Joe's, and I was like, "Oh, only one person said hello to me," and then it was like, "Get out of Top Chat, Tish." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, but because like I said, he used to talk shit on the, GLP-1, so I'm glad that he's talking sense there, that's good. Um, but, if anyone is hesitant, like I've been on it for, in the when I first started, nearly 3 years, and I've lost, around about 30 kilograms. I don't know how many that is in pounds, sorry. I think it's like I think it's twice. I think it's about 60 pounds. And uh the needle doesn't well, when I first had it, there was like shortages, blah blah. And so I just had the Ozempic, and then I was getting it from a compounding pharmacy that made it up, and then they changed the rules and they couldn't do that anymore. That was actually a syringe, which was a little bit more like the pen. It's like an EpiPen, and it's a little bit less. It's not as intimidating. When you had the syringe is like very very thin needle, didn't hurt very much at all. Can be a little bit intimidating. And then now I'm back on the little pen thing, which is just a little pinprick. It doesn't. That's not bad. All right, we will keep going.
So I want to show you this because this is some of the things we need to understand. This is the 10%. They are effective. They work for most people. About 14% of people are non-responders and they don't work on them. But for the majority of people, they're effective and they do lose weight. But as you can see, that line on the left that's higher, if you come off the medicine, you're going to gain your weight back, 70%. And here's the horrific part. Most people without our help are going to lose a lot of muscle, and they just waste muscle like crazy. The other thing we're
How do you know that? How do you know that? I don't think I noticed where it came from. You cannot control when you lose weight where it comes from, and I know that from listening to Erin, who is in the know about it and does know about weight loss through personal training. But yeah, I don't think that you can help them with that because you Optavia is just a diet. It's not. There's no like. I don't know if they have a personal training. I don't think they do have an exercise program. Sorry, let me have a look. Um, fat burning. Yeah, no, they just sell a diet. They don't have. They do not have qualifications to teach that. Yeah, exactly. We trust medication, GLP-1s. Yes, if you stop taking the needle, yes, you'll put weight back on unless you are still eating the way that you are. You can keep the weight off, but also my prescriber for Wegovy, that's the weight loss sort of version of Ozempic. Um, she said that it is designed to continue taking for as long as you need. Like it's not going to harm you to keep taking it. So, yeah.
Glutide, glutaride, bottom line is there's some work shown that you're getting lipogenesis while you're on the shot. What I mean by that is because your body always tries to do what's best for it and you're starving yourself, it starts making more fat cells. Now, while you're on the drug, basically, you're not eating, so they're not filling up, so you don't really notice it. But when you come off the drug, all of a sudden you have more fat cells, less muscle, and most of that weight you're regaining is what? Fat. And I can tell you, in terms of longevity, the two paths, our path towards ultra health and moving in this direction, up and more healthy, is about keeping, maintaining, and adding muscle. Muscle is the most.
That's what they call it when you have lost all your weight and you're maintaining for like a year, I think, or maybe less. I can't remember. They call it ultra health. How do you know you're in a cult? Well, do you get a different language to speak? Yep. And so it's really insidious. And as I said before, it's a diet. It is not a freaking exercise plan.
Important thing for us to have health span, not lifespan. There's a whole bunch of Americans, like 15%, that have the low quality of life. They're living longer, but at a very unhealthy state, right? What we want is muscle. So the point is, buy them.
I think I saw, I don't know, I think maybe it was a lady like last year or the year before, and she was like 105 or something, like something ridiculous like that. And she loved her Dr. Pepper. And like she didn't live like, a really healthy life or anything, but it's like, you know, you don't have to live this life. And Optavia is a almost a starvation diet. Absolutely. 800 to 1,000 calories a day. That is as much as a toddler is supposed to eat. When people get off in the past, they have been diagnosed with malnutrition. That was on a podcast that I found probably a year ago. And it destroys their metabolic system, metabolism. Me- Yeah, destroys their metabolism. And what they need to do is they need to rebuild their metabolism after they've left. And Erin's done a lot of. She was doing it with the dietitian and with her personal trainer Susan, and that's what inspired her to become a personal trainer, because she wanted to help other people out like that too. And I believe she's doing further study on the dietitian side of things, because I know Brianna Jewell, she was a dietitian to be for a long time. It took a lot of study to get there. Um, oh wow. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, that's what, like, a lot of people, that's why when they say, "Oh, like, everybody wants to lose weight." No, some people, like, I know that's why THC is sometimes good for, like, cancer people, because they can, like, eat and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I get you, Alzara. Um,
Themselves, they've got some major issues. Second, you can see it stops in a year. There's a time expiration date on the shot. The shot gives you basically willpower, right? It gives
I've been on it for 3 years, mate, and I've been maintaining, like, I didn't, and that's probably why I got a little bit of loose skin under my neck, and a little bit of a line here, but that's more because I got, like, missing teeth here, so there's a little bit, it's a little bit more sunken in, and, like, I haven't got any hanging skin anywhere else, so it's really just around my neck, and that's, like, probably no one would notice it if I didn't point it out, do you know what I mean? And that's because it wasn't quick, it was steady, like, it was, because, it's not a quick fix. Yeah, can people lose weight quickly from it? Yep, they sure can, like your fucking diet. But if you're trying to be smart about things, then you can do it without it, like, wrecking your health, you know? But then again, it's not perfect for everybody, because I know there's some people who've had really bad side effects from it, so
you willpower because the food isn't, it's not really even willpower. It's just, oh, doesn't feel like eating. I don't feel like eating. My appetite has been suppressed. But then you can see after a year or so, it stops working. And you have to maintain and continue the medicine indefinitely so you don't gain the weight back. Not good.
this is, the reason why. Yeah, oh, that sucks. Don't drink anything with calories. Also, just water then. There's people taking pictures of this, and guess what they're gonna be saying in their trainings now, or in their pitch meetings, or if they're trying to, like, on their reels to get people to join. Look, you need a plan after a year, because you stop losing weight then, and you'll just be on this medication the whole time. Do you want to be a druggie? Do you want to be a drug addict? Because that's what it's going to make you. And I can imagine them doing lots of manipulations with that. Mm. Well, I'm going to watch a little bit more of this. Oh my God, I haven't even got to half an hour. Tish, shut the fuck up. I know that's what we're here. We're here for commentary, but still. Come on.
We have no idea what the long-term side effects of these drugs are. And we're using super physiologic doses that are 10 to 20 times the dose that our body produces naturally. And
We do sort of know what happens because diabetics have been using this medication for a while now.
so we're suppressing all that response, and that can't be good long-term, right?
But you don't know that. Where's your proof? You don't know that. Prove it. Sorry, that's the Julie Joe callback there. You do not know. And people are going to take his word as gospel. Why? Because he's the doctor. It's Dr. A. He knows exactly what he's talking about. But he's going to give you the credentialed stuff. Look, he's got like graphs behind him. He must be telling the truth. He's a smart guy. Look, he's got a graph. Um, yeah, and he doesn't know for sure on the second half. But they're approved, and not just in America because FDA is a little bit dodge, okay? But they're approved worldwide. Come on, dude.
That's why we need you. That's why we need to. And then the third, BMI at 1 year, you can see people didn't reach a healthy weight. They lost weight, and they lost a good percent, as I mentioned, up to 20+%. But they don't reach a healthy weight. They need something else. The drugs aren't working. They're not at a healthy weight. They're not at a BMI of 25, and they need us, right? Okay. So we have an elegant solution. We are
Why are all these sentences with capitals on each one? What the fuck is happening? Um, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say, oh, the BMI. Um, BMI, we've already talked about it. It doesn't mean shit. Yeah. He's saying all these things. There's numbers on the screen, and his pants match his shirt, as do his shoes. His shoes and his pants and his shirt all match. BMI is racist. It was built on racist like terms, and I think don't quote me on this part of it. Eugenics, I think maybe eugenics is in there somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, definitely racist. So let's keep going about this elegant solution. I hate that there are capitals. Why are there capitals on this? But not every word. We offer an elegant solution. We are the experts in lifestyle and should quarterback that lifestyle change. What the fuck?
are the experts at lifestyle, and we should be quarterbacking that lifestyle change for these individuals.
What does that mean? We are experts in lifestyle. How? You sell a diet, sir. Sir. Haven't found where Optavia food is. If you notice that my face gets brighter sometimes, it's because my other screen will have a brighter like page, and then it'll get darker and then brighter. Depends what's on the screen. So I haven't found out where they make everything, but uh, you're not experts in lifestyle. You sell a diet. Come on, that's ridiculous.
Third, you as a guide, you are the guide to optimal but you know what you need to. You may not have done as much as you need to, right? We can all do more. I can tell you I'm in the best shape of my life. My BMI is at 25. My muscle to fat.
I don't know. I don't know if he's telling the truth here. Yet BMI was made to get an average on white men in a small part of the world and says nothing. And the guy who made it supposedly even said it could be used. Yeah, yeah, wow. I didn't realize that second part of it. Oh, and he did discover Denmark. We forgot he discovered Denmark. Yes. Um, I don't know. He looks like he's got a little bit around the middle, like he's not a big guy. Maybe he's shorter than I think. Maybe he's a little pocket rocket. I don't know.
Is at the best ratio. And I'm jumping out of helicopters. And I'm 73.
All right, respect.
We have the habits of health for long term. Bottom line is we have the program, we have the blueprint. We just need to be better as coaches at implementing it, because what we want to do is fill the funnel again. So you can work as hard as you want, and you can really work, Nick and his team can put together incentives. We need a lot more clients. And where are those clients? They're in the GLP thought process. They're either taking it or thinking about it, and they're hesitating until they make the decision. We're going to position you so that you can help them make the right decision for them. Cool?
That's interesting. Um, I he did seem to be eating off plan. That's what they say it. Are you on plan at the moment? Or are you off plan? On plan. Um, Dr. A, how are you going to fill that funnel up? I don't know because of anti-MLM, because the winds are changing. It is very expensive to buy the food. When you're so successful at tricking people and you have discovered Denmark, you don't need to follow your own advice. That's true. It's true. You're right on it. Yeah, when people, and this is how they get people to sign up as coaches as well, and they say, we will, like, oh, well, if you sign up as a coach, you get a discount. So you can, and you might even get paid more because, like you'll get you can sign your friends and family up and you can do it all together. Blah, blah, blah. And then it goes into, the whole pitch. But there's so much information out there about Optavia being not just like because it's an MLM and only 1% of people are successful, but also that the diet's bad. Like, I've seen a couple of people who, regularly go viral for their health and wellness, like, critiques, and they talk about how bad Optavia is. Like, everybody is very well known, I think. And then you add the anti-MLM stuff to it, bro, the numbers are not going to improve. We saw the dip. It is not going up. You lost $400 million or generated $400 million less, you know? Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, I think, peoples. I need to go to the toilet. I'm gonna do a little I've been a little bit taken by Lego. I know, I'm late to the party. Okay, everybody, I'm late to the party. I got the Lucky Bamboo um Lego that you can sort of see here. And then I had a succulent one from ages ago that I didn't end up doing. So I've done some of that one, but I've lost some of the pieces. So I haven't done all of that one. And then I got one that's like it's a 3-in-1. It can be a camera. So I've got a little camera. And then I just started this one. Hang on. So to go with my little Lucky Bamboo. So I'm enjoying it. I think it'll be a little hyper focus for a bit. But there's nice things, so I'm excited. So I've done the bottom part of that one, and I'm gonna finish it, I think, before I go to bed. Because it is, what time is it? It's 11:15 at night now. All right. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Lily. Thanks, Elizara. Thanks, Natasha, William. Who else said hello? Everybody. Everybody who said hello, and the bot over on Twitch, and if there's anyone on TikTok, my old students, my God, get a life. I've left. I'm done. I'm gone. I'm gonna be out of this town by the weekend. All right. Stop looking up your teachers on social media. It's weird. All right. Thanks everybody. I'm gonna keep watching this and just keep sort of like continue and go through, because I think it'll be interesting to see what everybody else is saying. And hopefully Doug and Tia do something, because I'd love to see them. And the guy who Dr. A went to Copenhagen with, um, they he's going to talk next, and I thought he was the CEO, but I think he's the CFO. So, but I have heard him talk before, or maybe the president. It's weird how they have a CEO and a president, but yeah. Anyway, okay. Goodbye, everybody. Have a lovely day. I think everybody's like in their day now, and I'm in the night. I'm of the night. Okay, shut up. All right, bye. Goodbye, everybody.